there's been chatter about our friendship, and I think I do like what you guys end up seeing is like just like a random conversation but it's like somewhat curated when we talk, right? But now after that conversation, I think people see how we actually are.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Because that is actually how we actually are.
That's exactly how we are. Like,
yeah.
So that actually you guys got to be in a conversation between me and Joe.
Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, sweetheart.
I've been telling Joe how every time I look at her, I'm just like, I know this is Joe. I know
somewhere
she's here,
deep down inside.
But where is she? You look so different.
Thank you.
How is that transition?
It's
into a different human being in front of our eyes.
It's interesting. I would say it's interesting.
Okay.
It's like it takes some getting used to for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, and it feels different than I thought it was going to feel because you see how in your mind you imagine you're going to look a certain way. Like
we're referring to our weight loss.
My weight loss, by the way.
I don't know
exactly.
That was obvious.
A big amount of weight. So sometimes when I look at myself, like when I was thinking about losing weight, it's like you imagine you're going to look a certain way, which is like the same way you looked when bigger, but just a smaller you. But actually, you just look completely different.
And it's just
different. Like, I just look at myself. I'm just like, interesting. Yeah, it's taking some getting used to. That's what I can say.
Okay, fair
it's
enough.
Taking some getting used to.
I think you look mesmerizing.
Thank you.
It is wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look so good. And guys, remember that year, the beginning of 2024.
Yes.
And she was just like, Auntie, is this going to be my last 5 years? And I was like, yeah. She's like, how do you know? I know.
Yeah.
And you've done such a good job.
Thank you.
Such a good job.
There's lots to explore in terms of just like how the difference in how people perceive bigger people versus smaller people, the difference in being in a bigger body versus a smaller body. Maybe we should do an episode about something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe people have enough content for it. Yeah,
I think so. And now I think it's big, especially with like Ozzy.
Yeah, and the conversations around
Ozzy, the conversations around Ozzy.
Yeah,
the people are going through a lot of big weight loss differences.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay,
anyway,
you did it. Thank you.
It's done.
Thank you so much. 10% battery. I thought I charged this yesterday. I guess I didn't.
Yeah,
that's disappointing.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I felt overwhelmed yesterday, like just kind of putting too much on my plate, but I'm taking a breath. I start school tomorrow, guys. I am, By the time you see this, it will be like last week.
Yeah.
I am starting school to get certified to be a coach, and I think I can tell you guys now because I would have already shared.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing it in Harvard Medical School.
Bitch. That's wow.
Yeah,
wow,
I found a
amazing.
perfect course and it has everything that I want, the kind of training that I want. The modules are literally, it felt like my imagination was on paper.
That's amazing.
I know. I'm so excited.
Okay, so what kind of coach are you training to be?
It's lifestyle and wellness. And our lecturer is very focused on lifestyle medicine, which is exactly what I do. Essentially treating yourself with how you're living your life in your lifestyle. That's basically how I even live. So being conscious on nutrition, movement, things like that. So to be honest, you can actually just coach without it. But my imposter syndrome is a lot about being an expert. I feel like you need expertise or more education or more training or something. It is still an imposter syndrome and it's not real, but I think it will put me somewhere and it's going to validate and give me the kind of authority that I need because I have so much experiential knowledge. Now having that certification is going to really...
Right. That's so interesting that you see it as that, as imposter syndrome, because I don't see it as that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like anyone could talk about anything that they have experienced. You could have experienced something once and be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like wanting to get certification doesn't say to me, let me say as an outside party, doesn't say to me that, oh, she has imposter syndrome, so that's why she needs it.
Yeah.
It just says to me like, wow, she cares about giving the right kind of advice and the right kind of support to people enough for her to actually invest in it to get that, certification. That's what it says to me. In fact, it gives me more of like I just feel like that's what sets you apart. You know what I mean?
Totally get it. It does set me apart. But the reason why I would say that is because even sometimes when I'm invited at panels, I always think like, You know,
As
I'm
who?
talking
As who?
exactly because especially because I talk about mental health, it's like very much the people who are given the most kind of authority are obviously doctors, and rightfully so. So sometimes when I sit next to them, I'm sat here.
Yeah.
So then there's something I'm bringing to the table.
Right.
But I don't always feel that way. And I think sometimes it can be a bottomless pit. And I found people who are like that, where it's like, okay, you've got a certification, but that's not enough, is it? Because now there's a degree and it can be never ending. That's where the imposter syndrome can come in. Because there's different forms of imposter syndrome, and I identified that that's the one I usually feel funny about.
And do you feel like it's just because it's mental health in particular? Because I know when you're called talk about content creation, you're not like, oh, I don't have a certificate in content creation, but you know you are one of the best content creators. So it's like, it's because it's mental health in particular, and because it's such a, would I say touchy? It's touchy and very...
I think it's more because in that industry, who's given the most authority, right? Because if in our industry you needed a PhD, whether I was great, I'll probably feel the same way. And also because that field is still has the setup of like education and things like that, and rightfully so. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying. So I think it's because that's the traditional way. Like who do you give the most authority? It's a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm just like, okay, you know so much, and
do you feel like that's changing though? Do you
slowly,
feel like,
slowly changing. And I know this certification is definitely going to help me, because to be honest, I do want to get, I want to be refined to be able to be a coach, because right now I can't talk, and I actually can't coach. And even sometimes I do consultations that are outside, outside content creation. But now it's like it's gonna help me. Actually, I had a consultation, actually a meeting with this she's like a branding coach kind of, and we're talking about the monetization part, and she was a coach for 3 years before she got certified. You see? So you could,
which technically you have been doing. It's just
Kind
not
of,
as you
intentionally,
and not having the balls to be like, this is coaching, but actually it is coaching. She said consultation, but actually consultation just sounds so much softer.
So it's just like,
and just like
vague.
It's just vague.
Let's just have a little
As
chat.
chatting, you need to
this
do
is
X
the
and
plan
Y.
for your life. But
I'm this really whole talk we haven't even introduced. The beginning of the
I'm
episode.
just excited.
Right.
I'm just excited. Actually, funny enough, I saw a comment, like, I think people did like that free-flowing kind of conversation.
And I did too. I really did like it.
So now here we are, guys. Welcome to another episode of
this episode. Follow us, TMI Podcast KE everywhere. Lydia KM, Murugi Muni. We love you, and we love when you subscribe to our platforms, because they really help us. As you are watching this episode, guys, in 3 days we have a really amazing event coming up. I don't even know if at this point we've sold out our tickets, but let's assume that we maybe haven't. Should we assume that by this point that they're watching this?
I think we might probably sell out maybe by like Friday or something.
Exactly. So we are having an amazing event this coming Saturday. By now you have already seen, by now you've already heard, but we are so excited about it. One, because it's in partnership with Spotify, which is a big fucking deal.
Huge.
It is a really, really big deal. All our other events have been like, it's just mostly us who have been the cut, not mostly.
It's been us all the time.
Exactly. So it's been so amazing working with them on this and having them, like, their muscle, their financial backing, their know-how, because of course they've had so many events around the world. It's been just amazing working with them, and we are so looking forward to you guys experiencing the magic that is TMI X Spotify. So by now I hope you have bought your ticket. If you haven't, I don't know how to help you guys. I don't know how to help you.
And even this time we had early bird.
We did.
And I know how much you guys say that sometimes our ticketing is not affordable. So because we partnered with Spotify, we were able to do that.
Exactly.
And even actually, by the way, 2K is still the cheapest we've ever been able to do. So please get your ticket, guys. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be talking about shame. All the ways people shame us, the way we shame other people, what shame does to us, the way it distorts our realities, ruins our self-esteem, starts dictating the decisions that we are making. We're going to be talking about that and how to dissolve it. It's going to be really, really fun. And do you know what? There's something about Inbetweeners.
What do you mean?
There's something about that sisterhood or togetherness that adds to our event that we can't. That one we can't create.
King Betweener said you don't say sisterhood because they feel left out.
Sisterhood, brotherhood, peoplehood. The peoplehood of Inbetweeners.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something special that really makes our event so wonderful. And when we say people make friends there, they leave with friends who they come back to the other events. They do.
Yeah.
So please join us, guys. The link is down below. Please get your ticket. It's going to be at Shamba from 10 a.m. The Shamba events.
Yes.
At 10 a.m. to 12:30. Assuming that's what it still is.
Yeah, we don't know exactly. Assuming.
Shamba event from 10. And the dress code is going to be shades of pink.
Exactly. We also have...
purple.
Is this purple?
Yeah.
I feel like it's pink.
It's purple.
Adjacent.
It's purple.
It's like pink curl. Pink.
Purple.
Okay, fine. Let's go with that. Yeah, exactly. Per pink.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the gift shop. Yes. We've also organized for transport for Inbetweeners. If you are coming from town to Shamba, there are transport arrangements. So make sure you check out those details on our Instagram. But there's also a link down below where you can register and the payment procedure for the same because you need to pay in advance for the transport. Yes. So, yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, we did an episode on life is messy.
Yeah.
And that was not an intentional conversation. We just started talking, especially Sister Murugi. She had a lot going on.
And but you know, I've not done therapy for a while.
That's why.
Yeah, that's the reason actually. Yeah. But as you're watching this, I went to therapy last Thursday. When is today? Wednesday. Yeah. Last Thursday, I went to therapy. So at least, and I want to try and make it like slightly more regular, maybe like every other week or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the reason why that episode was just such a wow, an exhale.
There's been chatter about our friendship, and I think I do like what you guys end up seeing is like just like a random conversation but it's like somewhat curated when we talk, right? Anyway, whatever you're seeing is what you're seeing. But now after that conversation, I think people see how we actually are.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Because that is actually how we actually are.
Exactly how we are. Like, so that actually you guys got to be in a conversation between me and Joe. Like, what if, let's say, she was just having that kind of offload, that's how would have dealt with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you say that there's been chatter about our friendship, if somebody isn't registering what it is you're saying.
Yeah. You know? So there's been chatter that our friendship is ending. Murugi is always making me feel bad for not having a man.
Yeah.
I'm always over talking over her and muting her voice. You know, those ones.
Yeah.
And so it's fine. To be honest, it's like it's whatever. But I think that ended up being like a peep into what kind of happens behind closed doors. And I'm glad. It's probably not going to change anyone's perception when you're hell-bent to see things one way.
Yeah.
But I think that was nice.
A comment that someone left on that one was like, this episode felt like a rebrand, a transition event, 10 times more honest, 10 times realer. Your friendship felt 1,000 times safer.
Yeah.
This might be weird, but it felt like I was having a really difficult conversation with my girls and it connected us even more. I like you ladies and you're doing great.
Yeah, so I don't know. So what do we do? Because now sometimes when we come here, if we just kind of blabber on with that, will it be like aimless?
That's the thing.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like in fact, right now, unless I go back and watch the episode, I really can't remember what we talked about in that episode. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
You know, I know you are really, you are at therapy.
What are you going through?
You were just talking about what's happening with your life, like the accident that happened and like how you felt around Mukeni's birthday.
Right.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like usually it's like when they say like a burden shared is a burden halved or something, or a problem shared is a problem halved. It's like once I talk about something and it's off me, I just feel like I've released it,
it's
kind of thing. And it's kind of just like gone. Like I don't spend time like thinking about it, talking about it. It's the same in my marriage as well, by the way. When something is bugging me and then now me and Zach have talked about it, it's like it wasn't even there.
That's wonderful.
It's just like it's gone and it's like dissolved. So I feel like that was, the case. But what I find interesting is like when people say positive things about our friendship on comments, I'm like, yeah, exactly. But one negative one, I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
you're projecting.
I feel like that's just a natural way to just like exist, because that's the way I see. Like when you say something positive, I'm like, yeah, our friendship is safe.
Because you're feeling it, you know. And then also it's like the TMI is like 1% of like the time what people see of our friendship, whereas it's like that whole other one, you know. Exactly. Even sometimes I'm just like, do you know where she's carried me from? with these niggas.
Been with
you know
us?
what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And I think also with this dynamic, the longer I'm not married with kids, and the more you guys see that difference in our lives, you know? So it's like maybe things that when I was in a relationship that you wouldn't have picked up from that perspective, you now pick them up. And I think we need to just get used to it, guys.
I feel like we should, Also, I would challenge you guys who are watching, if there was a fly on the wall observing your friendship, like you and like your closest friend, because you see, most people, you don't have an outside eye looking at your friendship. This is the reality. Like most people, no one is ever, unless you're like a group of 3 and one person can observe. But even then, the dynamic is different when there's other people there, I guess. So I just wonder if like a fly was on the wall and was like observing your friendship, what would they say about that friendship based on a couple of conversations you've had? Because also sometimes I realize that there are some dynamics between two people which work because you're only the two of you there. But like when other people are observing it, they might be, that's strange. That's weird. Oh, that's what you guys do. Oh, that's how you guys are. Oh, that's the things
like
you say to each other.
Like,
I
observe you and your sisters.
Right? And then it's like... That's the thing. Exactly. Me, sometimes when I observe like co-workers, I'm always like, what an interesting way to exist in each other's space or like with each other kind of thing. So sometimes I recognize that you guys may be looking at us. It might seem like, because you're there and you're watching us friendship each other. So sometimes it might appear a certain way, even though it's not necessarily that way. That's what I would say.
But we are drawing boundaries. I actually, I was like, you know, we share ourselves. That includes our friendship. And when we make, especially our friendship, kind of a topic of like hateful and snide comments, that's no longer a healthy dynamic between us. So communicating what you feel is perfectly fine. We've always been welcome. But there's an undertone that's changing, but we are nipping it in the bud. There's no hate is going to be in the comments, because we were like, if it was a guest, we would never allow that. Why are we allowing it when it's us?
But some of these comments to me, they don't like, maybe it, depending on what it is that someone has said, aren't really like it's a hate comment. It's just a negative comment. Do you know what I mean?
Some of them are nasty. Some of them are snide. Like they're coming with like an energy that's like, you know, it's like you're not, it's not, you know, a negative is one. I think Morugi makes Lydia feel bad about being single. That's like negative.
Sometimes guys are like, Lydia, keep quiet and let Morugi talk.
Exactly. That there's a difference between sharing your opinion and now that extra energy behind it.
I guess so.
But anyway, this is kind of, since shame is what we are talking about.
Jeez, this is the thing. And I like what you said about like when you make we've made our friendship like a topic of conversation, even though our friendship is not technically the topic of conversation, but because we are here, it's the same thing as like on my platform. I feel like I make my marriage a topic of conversation, whether I want to or not. Like I feel like anyone who you exist with in the online space, it's like people just feel like, oh, I'm welcome to then comment on this thing, understand. Which, you know, and sometimes it's just like, I wish people wouldn't do that, but I understand why they do.
100%.
Because once they are seeing, even my relationship with my kids, even how I am in my home, even my relationship with my sisters or my parents or whatever, naturally people feel they can comment on it. It's just like, literally, sometimes I'm in my DMs and I'm just like, watch your mouth, because I have posted up with them.
Not too much.
Yeah, not too much. Because literally, I'll be blocking people for anything.
Yeah, I feel where I stand is that, especially post grief, I'm really keen on what I know is something that matters to me, and I'm being more protective of that than maybe I would have before. Like our friendship to me is not something to mess around with, and if we do end up not being friends, let it be because of our stuff, not because we let like comments like coming at us consistently start kind of seething into it. You know, I'm a human being, so are you. So if it starts getting to you, you start perceiving the friendships in a way that you don't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's where the boundaries are coming from, because you guys also serve as a mirror. Sometimes it's just like, is that something I could look at? Is that, you know, like there's that, but not too much.
Not too much now. And then another thing that we discussed is the fact that even if you are you're a hardened person online, you know how you just be like, oh, just ignore the comments, just ignore whatever. There are things which happen to you like
Unconsciously.
subconsciously. It's like you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, they have said that I'm mean to Lydia. Yeah. Now it's like I'm consciously. No. Sometimes it's just like you see the same comment enough times, and without knowing it, you start to believe like, is this true? Your mind starts being like, okay, starting to see things in a different way, and that's what we don't want. That's why we're just saying that's not the kind of like commentary we would like to allow on our comments. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. Anyway, thanks guys. So many people in the comments of that episode, by the way, were just like, oh, sending you so much love. And what? And it's like, yeah, a lot of you guys were like so super supportive. So thank you so much. Yeah.
I felt like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
What a woman. After that, what a woman. You handle a lot. I understood you and I empathize with you in a very different way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you about those things I was going through, right?
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
I love this space. I love that we have this space, and I love that it's like whatever. And the fact that we came on that episode not intending to have that kind of conversation, but then it just happened. Yeah. And the reason that can't happen for every episode, guys, is like, what if we come here and we think we have a lot to talk about, and then we just like, so your wig is laid.
Thank you. Yeah. Your makeup.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And that has been our episode, and thank you so much for watching, guys. We can't always
now
give it
that
up
we
to
know
chance.
that that's something that is, we didn't even know that that's a kind of episode that would even work or whatever. We are now more keen about the kind of conversations we can do moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, so some of the comments that you guys left, a lot of you guys were telling us about some of the things that life was teaching you, because a lot of what we were sharing in that episode was like things that life is, dragging us through at that time. Yeah, but a lot of you guys were sharing some of the things that life is teaching you. So we're just going to go through some of the comments on that particular episode. And we're going to link the episode below if you haven't watched it, so that you can know which one it is we're talking about. It's untitled Life is Messy.
Yeah.
So Femina said, I have watched all episodes. They are always so healing, especially this one, because it's true. Life is messy. I'm tired and there's only 10 bob and minus 3,500 of rent, but I choose to remain positive. God bless TMI.
Oh, girl.
Damn.
We hope you are able to make rent. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Life is...
That was 15 hours ago, actually.
Oh, really?
Now. Yeah.
We hope you make rent.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, actually, even economically, there's a lot of hardship.
Yeah.
There is. And once it's like when you don't have enough money, that circulates through everything. It circulates like when you go somewhere, do you eat this? Do you eat it? It affects so much of what you're going through. But it's amazing that you're able to stay positive, and we're able to somehow kind of give you some confidence, some healing. Yeah.
Sorry, girl.
Yeah, let
us know how everything works out. Yeah.
What life is teaching me right now, there's another comment. What life is teaching me right now is to stop suffering from my own thoughts. I have removed resentment and bitterness towards people who did me wrong, and I am appreciating life and trying as much as possible to be present and live life. Meditation has really been helpful also. Here for that. It's not as easy. So good on ya. Love that for you. Meditation does help me too.
Yeah, I've never gotten into meditation. It's like sitting in silence
Most
with your thoughts, right?
Struggle. Majority of people struggle.
How long do you need to sit with for it to be meditation?
How it feels. Like for me, it's like even now I can probably meditate for 5 minutes and be able to be silent. But I've been practicing this for like 7 years.
Yeah. Okay. For me, what I consider meditation is like the period in between I've put my phone away and I've not yet fallen asleep. Is that meditation?
Fair enough. You can silence your mind. The whole point is to try and silence your mind, to slowly remove you out of autopilot. It also helps with being able to sleep. Like I can sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Noise, club, whatever, I'll sleep.
I'm not
because
that.
I've trained my mind. Like it's time to stop.
I love that.
Yeah, when people who have anxiety and things like that, it's been extremely helpful to me. The two things I can't go through my days: meditating, praying in the morning. Those two, I feel like I'm a bit upside down when I start my day.
Okay, can you do for us an IG live where we meditate together, all of us?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to stay on there and just
I'm gonna try, babe. Max 5 minutes because I don't think I can do.
It's not easy because if your mind has practiced all the time going, stopping is unbelievable. But the euphoria when, like, let's say you meditate really, really well.
Yeah. How do you not fall asleep then when you meditate?
It's a positioning. So for me,
standing up.
No. Are you able to sleep like flat like this?
Yeah.
I can't sleep like that. Like straight.
Like with a pillow.
With a pillow. With my head straight up like that, I can't.
Yeah, actually, I do love sleeping like that. I do.
Yeah, no. So whichever position you can't sleep in, it could be sitting, whatever one. But for me, when I lay flat like that, there's just a way that my mind knows we are meditating and we're not sleeping.
Okay, and the point is to not think of anything.
Yes, to calm down. You can count your breath, take deep breaths, and slowly start to quiet your mind. It takes practice.
Yeah, I already feel uncomfortable at the
thought. It is frustrating. Yeah. I've got to tell you. And I see why people give up. But that's good. We're glad that that's what life is teaching you.
Exactly. I'm going to try. Someone says we should learn to have deep conversations about death.
Yeah. I'm open. You looked uncomfortable when you were talking about like life is rest. You look like you are really thinking about how to learn about it. But it's because, you know, when you're speaking about death, you're not speaking about death anymore. You're speaking about she's death.
Exactly.
So now it becomes extremely personal and it's not always easy to kind of create that space. But I'm quite open about talking about death now.
Yeah.
That death doesn't feel like it the way it used to.
Seriously.
Death is right here, guys.
Yeah, it's that
the
close, right?
The delusion is gone for me. It is right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it takes some time to overcome that anxiety around like, oh my God, someone close to me could die.
Yeah.
Simply because I feel like I would say maybe my uncle and my aunt are like one of the closest people who have ever died in my life. So maybe it's like I keep thinking like it will be closer. It will be. Like it's not that it might, one day might, it will be.
Yeah.
There will reach a time, or maybe I'm the one who will die before. I don't know.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I just feel like you're a trooper. You're
what
going.
The fuck? What
we're going through into the 90s, baby.
I feel like that would be really lovely, but I don't know. Maybe 80s.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah.
And done.
Yeah.
Whereas
I like sugar.
So?
Oh, so that impacts like longevity of life and steward. You know, like sugar, cholesterol.
Oh, right.
You know,
oh, so now 80 you're saying is like young.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Good night.
80 is not young.
What?
It is.
No, a lot of people don't make 80s.
Have you seen Kris Jenner?
Oh, listen.
That woman is looking...
What?
She's turning 70 or she's already
Crazy.
70.
I think she's 70
actually
already.
Looking amazing. Actually, having money is the key.
Is the key,
Having
honestly.
money is the key. That's what I would say.
And money, and then you know how to balance it so you can be at peace. You're not stressed. That's the way. Now you see, death is anxiety because anxiety is just projection of like worry of the future, right? Whereas I'm living the reality. So there's nothing to be anxious about. Whereas now
it's like be worse.
It's now more anxiety about like, oh, so the reality I'm living, oh, this shit could double up.
Yeah. And triple up. Girl.
Yeah. So knowing is like, oh, so this is how I feel every day carrying she's grief. Then maybe there's going to be my moms and my sisters and
yeah, I know. Yeah, sometimes when I think of Zach dying, I just like burst into tears. And I'm like, why am I making myself sad right now over something that has not yet even happened?
It's
you know what I mean?
Anticipatory grief.
Oh, no.
Especially in a way like when you're around grief, you kind of almost start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Did I share that one time when I slept over when I was at home and I thought my mom was getting murdered in her bedroom?
What?
Yeah. So I had a really difficult night when I was thinking about it was like going to be her 3rd month anniversary the next
That's
day.
When you had traveled.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just having a horrible night and I got this crazy anxiety that my mom was getting murdered in her bedroom. And one way to kind of combat anxiety is to not feed into it. So instead of going into her room, I'm breathing so that I know it's not real.
Yeah, it's not happening.
So that happens all the time. When I get off the call, I'm just like, oh my God, what if that's the last time I speak to her?
I know. And the reality is that anxiety does nothing except make you worry right now about something that you might experience in the future. But like, what is the point? What is the point of anxiety?
It's a waste of time, but it's so hard to curb out when you've gone through something difficult.
Do you feel like it helps to like watch things or like participate in things which just like are a reminder of how frequent death happens and how death is just like part of us? You know what I mean? Like, for example, when I watch things like The Rookie, I've been watching The Rookie. If you have not watched that series, by the way, you should get into it. It's so nice. Just a nice feel-good thing. But like when I like watch things which have death in them or like documentaries about like this person was murdered or a documentary about this, it kind of like normalizes it and then it stops being like this big, oh my God, horrible thing. And it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that I'm in grief, I don't see it that way. Every time I see someone die, especially like around that time with like Mandamano and stuff, it was triggering because every death feels like it's she.
Yeah.
And I think of every person who their Lydia is, who their sister is, who their parent is. And I just feel this unsurmountable anguish.
Yeah.
So I don't like seeing things about death, especially like it being made light of.
Right.
No. It's not helpful for me.
I kind of like that one of like the it being made light of. I feel like that one helps. There's this lady who I follow on TikTok, and actually there's many like dark, would I call them like dark humor kind of like whatever. So there's this lady who her husband died, and now she just makes these funny TikToks about like can't wait to die, can't wait to see you again, but in like a very humorous, dark kind of way, where even when I'm laughing, I kind of feel like it feels wrong to be laughing at it, because it's like, I know you're serious, but like, obviously you don't want to like die. Like, she doesn't seem suicidal, but she seems kind of like, oh, that wouldn't be the worst thing ever kind of thing, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah.
What's helpful to you
Tell us, guys?
Lightening it or just like now me who's just, I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Carol said, life lately has taught me to slow down and stop being hard on myself. I broke down the other day in the office because some data was not adding up, and I realized that I put too much pressure on myself to give perfect reports. This week, I am practicing gratitude and slowing down in every aspect of my life. My new mantra is, if it cannot be finished today, there is always tomorrow. There isn't, though. Honestly, this episode was refreshing and raw. More of this in between the dilemmas. There isn't always tomorrow. So, and sometimes things need to get done today. Discuss 10 points.
10 points. What I've realized is that that's a shift in my mentality. I've been going through life like I don't have enough time. Right. But now I'm going through life thinking the only time I have is this second right now. I'm not thinking I need to get it done so that my tomorrow can be easier.
I've been going through life thinking that I don't have enough time, but now
I'm going through life feeling like this moment right now
is the only one I have.
So I want to be more present in here, and I don't want to be like, let's hurry up in this so that I can rest or tomorrow can be easier. You know what I mean? Even in your even in your concept, you're still imagining that you're doing it so that tomorrow can be easier. Yes, so there's an assumption that there's a tomorrow, whereas it's like, okay, fine, pile on everything on your to-do list today. You die at 5. Now what? The to-do list is done, but now.
By the way, if someone dies and then you've worked for whatever, who's getting the payments? Someone needs to follow up.
No, you've got kids.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. But I feel like life to me, like a person who has aced life to me is like somebody who has found the balance between there's an urgency with which we need to live for us to make the most of our days and most of our time, but also at the same time, don't be so caught up in the urgency that you miss the joy and the amazingness and the love of like this moment and of this thing. Yeah. So the reality is that we do only have 24 hours in a day. And do I want to look back at these 24 hours and be like, oh, okay, fine, I slept really late, I woke up really early, I did all my work? Because the reality is that I've realized the more work you do, the more work you have to do. Do you see? This is the thing. Yeah.
What is
the harder you work, the harder you must work. It's not this fallacy of like, oh, if I work really hard today, tomorrow I'll be able to rest. No, because in fact, it'll free up tomorrow's to-do list for more things to be added onto it.
You're making me feel like vomiting.
I know. And I was just telling Lydia earlier, actually, it's like, we have a thing of like, we can do it. Like, yeah, you can add that. Oh, I'm doing, how many ads do you have to do today? 2. Yeah, I think I can do 3. You're doing what, 4? Yeah, I think I can do 5. I mean, I'm already doing 4, but no, you can't actually. Yeah. And we underestimate how many things need to get done in between. Yeah. You don't factor in the drive from A to B. You don't factor in the, I don't know, needing to order something for that. Like, there's so many things we don't factor in. But yeah, keep working hard, because the harder you work, the harder you will need to work. You sit with that, babe.
Do you know what?
Yep.
I am done.
Exactly.
That's too much.
And you're like, once I finish all the small businesses today, tomorrow it'll be free. No, because now she'll book for you 7 tomorrow.
Now I'm changing that for sure. I can see it. Like I just don't want to rush through it anymore. And when I look back at she's and her life and everything, all I think about is the quality of the time I was spending with her. The thing, you know? So now that's what I want to lean way more into. And you're right. And also, by the way, I think this is like a lifelong dance.
It is.
Of like, okay, now
tension.
Life now I've calmed.
Yep.
But no, now I feel like I'm too calm. Yeah. Now you shoot up. Whoa, not like that. Yep.
And this concept of like, if it can't be finished today, there is always tomorrow. I feel like there are some things that can be done tomorrow. Like, I feel like one just needs to step back and ask themselves, is this something that must be finished? Because sometimes you're putting pressure on yourself, like, no, I have to have finished this document by like the end of the day today, but like, why? Why do you have to whatever? But there are things which, no, they need to be finished today.
Yeah.
They need to be finished today. Yeah. So for me, it's like finding that balance between like what is the most urgent thing that must be done today. If Mutana has a school project that needs to be turned in tomorrow, like that one I need to. But if there's a small business ad that I haven't put up and it's like, no, I had committed to, and it's like, no, you had committed, you can also commit to doing it tomorrow. Like, it's fine.
That is where I'm finding my freedom.
And you see, listen, that's the one. It's like, I am the one who committed. I am also the one who can be like, no, actually, I can't do this.
Yeah. Because this something else has come up.
Yes.
There's other, you know what we don't account through our day?
Yeah.
The personal shit.
That's
so
it.
we think our entire schedule is about work, but then you see all of this in between. Like right now, or well, yeah, the time you're seeing this, it's my little cousin Mwangi's birthday. I'm accounting for all the brain work and all the planning and all the things that I make, but I'm not accounting that when I'm scheduling. No, I'll do that ad. Then after that, we'll go to this meet.
Because in your mind, actually, it's like a 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5 people, do they account for personal shit happening?
But because now there, it's like all you're doing is like work. It's like your employer is seeing it that way. Like this is it. All you're doing is this work. So yeah, that's where I'm finding my balance. I wake up and I'm like, I've overwhelmed myself. This is too much. Let's fix things.
I wish we could get to that before we get to the overwhelm part.
No, I didn't sleep last night because I was overwhelmed. But today, I shifted things.
Did you see that Bible verse I shared on my story this morning? Lydia, sometimes you didn't watch stories, but also by the way, watching stories can be overwhelming when you're just going through. But this is what I shared. Let me just give me 1 second. Here it is. It is.
You do not deserve food if you haven't worked.
Well, this one is quite the opposite.
The Lord wants you to have 7.
He does, actually, 7 plus sources of income. But anyway, the verse is Psalm chapter 127, verse 2. And it says, "It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep."
Well, that was for you.
Yeah, because I was saying I slept so good. It was so great. But now for you, it is in vain that you are anxious and don't sleep because God gives his beloved sleep.
And now I'm empowering myself a bit more than that. If I think about my day tomorrow and it's making me feel like I'm dreading it.
Yeah. Why? Exactly.
Are you all right? Are you okay?
Literally for what?
No.
Why? Yeah. Also, this does not apply to lazy people. And I need that to be clear because there's people who are just like, no, you know what? If it's not finished today, it can be finished tomorrow. This is the 7th tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you are doing what you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis, if you are scheduling in your rest, if you are scheduling in, your personal things and whatever, and you're still finding that you're not able to make things work, that just means you need either you're lazy and you're not able to do things in the time that you've committed to doing them, or maybe you just need an overhaul of your life and your lifestyle and the way that you're living for you to be ensure that you're able to do what you need to get done today. Yeah.
And procrastination is a thing, like it eats people up quite a bit, but you want to get to the bottom of that. Yeah. I recently tested for ADHD, by the way, and I have a mild form of ADHD, and it's clear that it's because of my... Thank you.
Just felt like the right thing to do.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
My lifestyle has been really supporting me deal with a lot of ADHD symptoms. This is probably why I tested a lot lower, because I'm telling you 5-6 years ago, it would have been too much. And now I have more compassion for myself. Now, the reason why I rescheduled today is because I'm like, Lydia, your brain does not function like the way you think it does. Change things up and release yourself from some of these commitments. Why did it take that for me to be more compassionate with myself around how I schedule my stuff?
Yeah.
Why?
And the reality is like, okay, me as somebody who still struggles with procrastination, I feel like
You struggle with it?
I do.
How?
But in a different way. So, for example, I'll notice like I have, let's say 10 things on my to-do list. They are like, today I will do 5, then these 5 are left. By tomorrow, another 6 have been added. I'll do these 6, but the 5 from the day before are still left. The next day, I've added these ones, as opposed to being honest and saying, okay, before I add anything else, let me finish these other ones. So it's like, I'm still getting things done, but sometimes things which should have gotten done a while ago aren't getting done.
Yeah.
And then I find that to be problematic because in my head, I'm like, I know I'm not lazy. I know I'm working and I'm doing things, but there are some things which I'm not getting to. it's almost like, and then the farther away I get from it, the more I build it up in my head of how much it's going to take for me to do it. And then now there's the anxiety around it.
Editing.
And now it's like...
That's the bane of our lives, ladies and gentlemen.
And guess what? You know what? At the beginning of this year, I was telling Nance that I want to get somebody like a content producer who like helps me just shoot and edit my content.
Yeah.
I could have gotten that person by now. I don't know why I don't have that person. I feel like I should get a person who does that because like, what's the reason why I don't?
Are you addicted to that rush?
My God.
There's something.
There
There's
must
something
be
to be
something.
said
I don't
about
know,
that.
yeah.
And
I don't
also
know, yeah.
there's like sometimes we can end up having our kind of worth being in like the doing. Like, you know, look, all the things I got done. That high is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But when you delegate, somebody else did it. It wasn't you lazy ass.
Oh my God.
You see?
So then are you a content creator or are you a content poster?
So what's the point?
You're a content poster.
You're a content poster. What are you doing here? Which is not real.
That is,
but
yeah, exactly. It's definitely not real. Yeah, but that's something that I need to look into.
Yeah, I saw my to-do list for editing and I just closed the app.
Are you serious? Even me, I have
it's enough. It's enough.
It's enough. My God. Mm-mm. Okay.
Let me say one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, two of them. Oh, but you know, all three I've said somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I had said you have time. That's what I'm learning.
Life is teaching you right now.
Yes, being compassionate with yourself is the most important thing. I think the idea that I'm ruling over myself as a tyrant and a bully makes me really sad versus the other way, which is not ruling over myself, but being side by side with myself and adjusting my path because I'm an adult.
And you can.
I can do it. That is something that I'm loving how compassionate I am with myself lately. I am. Maybe like getting tested just allowed me to feel like, okay, there's a reason why you're feeling this way and it's okay. Whereas before I didn't know. I just felt like I was feeling overwhelmed. And me, when I'm looking at the things that overwhelm me, I'm just like,
even you be serious.
Actually, are you an adult? Do you want money?
That's actually the part that gets me because sometimes I'm like, these things which are overwhelming me are such tiny things. Like they are just like,
what is this?
Do them. And then now they are no longer going to be overwhelming.
But
why?
They're not
That's
small
crazy.
things when you are doing all of these other things that you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, so especially you.
Right. Do you feel like you wouldn't have given yourself the grace to, like this compassion, this grace if you didn't get the diagnosis?
I think so. And first of all, for you to be diagnosed, you need to like score like something like 20. Mine was 18. So it's like I have a milder form. So for you to get an official diagnosis, you need to be like above that. But yeah, anyway, I feel like it's made me know that my brain doesn't work the way I think it ought to. And that tension has released a bit. Because what I want is to wake up and grind like a machine and go to bed peacefully, calmly, without any anxiety, and do it again
and
10
be
times
happy.
over.
Yes, exactly. Actually, I want that too.
No. I think the expectation of myself has lowered from the perspective of how much I put on my plate. And knowing that I am the one who is inducing anxiety and overwhelm and stress on myself is making me so sad.
And you know what I think we need to do? We need to start writing down. Sometimes I feel like we need to write. Here's one thing that I noticed that we would do, which would stress us all the time. On TMI shoot days, we'd be like, we have a TMI shoot, but also you've scheduled 3 ads. And in your mind, I don't know, because you already know when you get the shoot, we usually arrive right on time. We shoot the episode. We have an hour for lunch. Usually there's like changing, whatever. Even we are running late for the next episode. We do the next episode at 6 p.m. So when you are scheduling the 3 ads on a day when you know you have TMI shoot day, where did you imagine the time was coming from? And that's because sometimes in our heads, we don't think of like the TMI shoot day as like we have worked that day. I don't know why. And yet it is the most wacky thing we do, but we don't think about it that way. It's like, I have to pause work to do TMI shoot, but TMI shoot is work.
But now it's like it's work, this one, but then there's our individual brands.
Yeah, but we need to realize that the Lydia is the same. So it's not like there's Lydia for the individual brands, then there's Lydia for TMI. It's Lydia is the same Lydia.
Why is that so sentimental?
I know.
Oh my God. Maruki.
This is the thing. Yeah. And we need to overcome this one of like, actually, if I get home and the only thing I shot was this one and I didn't shoot a single Lip Tribe episode. Kwanzaa, when I'm like, I have makeup on and I wasted it by not shooting 7 reels.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Please, can you offer us comfort in the comments.
We would love that.
If you are somebody who overwhelms yourself or like who's really struggling to like slow down, you're putting too much on your to-do list. What are some things that have helped cure you? Me now I'm realizing is just saying, I know I committed to that, but all these other things I did not commit to are also on my plate. Yeah. So now I need to readjust to that commitment.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one area that I realize I struggle with that is when I make commitments to my family, I find it really difficult to say like, okay, I know I had committed to this, but I can't. But there was a day that I did it and I felt so good afterwards. And I was like, why have I been holding myself to a standard that I just feel like is impossible? Like there was a time that I had told my mom that I would pass by. I think it was even after a TMI shoot or whatever. But we ended up leaving late that day. It was like 7 p.m. And I'm like, oh, I need to drive to now where Dora lives because she was staying with Dora that time. Like, I need to drive there and whatever. And I was already thinking, okay, it's going to be so much traffic. I'll probably get there at 9 p.m. and whatever. Like I was so stressed in my head. But in my head, it was like, I already told her I'm going to come. So I must. But then I was like, literally, it's only because there was so much more traffic than what I had anticipated that I just sent a message. I was like, actually, you know what? I know I had said that I would come after my shoot, but I'm feeling really tired and I think it'll take me too long to get there. Can we just meet tomorrow? She's like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. And I was like, literally, I can't change my mind. I can't say that actually I'm unable to do this right now. And if it's, especially if it's not something that like, you're usually a flaker. You're always a flaker. You always say commit and then you never come. Why do I hold myself to that standard of I must because I have said no? Things can come up. I had not factored in traffic. I had this shoot. I am feeling really tired. It's okay for that thing to change.
That is, I think, an adult level unlocking that everyone goes through. I also used to be that way. Yeah. It's like all other things feel like, if I reschedule, the world won't end. Yeah. But now with my family, it used to be like, I can't. It felt immovable. But no, once you unlock that, now this is like life becoming a lot easier. Yes. And I'm like, who do I serve when I go there tired, exhausted, and even frustrated?
Angry at them because
you know what I mean?
Are they the ones who made you go? You're the one who said
that's a big one. Yeah, that's a huge
for
step.
Sure.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're growing. we're growing.
Mambos are minging, but we are growing. And before I used to feel my identity was rooted around being a committed person, even in friendships. I said I will and I haven't. Yeah.
No,
because then you're just like everyone else. You want to stand. You want to set yourself apart.
Is it about standing up, standing out? Or I think that
it's just your own standard for yourself.
There's some of that too, but is it because I feel like my value in dynamics is rooted in that, so that it can be like, wow, you're so committed. Wow. She always does. Is it for me? Or is it so that I'm told or I'm said to be like, wow, Murugi is so committed. Like who is it for?
That feels like the time when one boy was like, okay, we are like, we never take a break. Why?
Why don't you ever take a break? We used to make people work Christmas Day.
Literally, I don't even understand. We're just like, we
so
could
what's
never.
The
what is the
for?
reason?
Like, what is driving that? And I think it's about that. Like, if I break my date with you, it's just like, oh wow. Is she going to have room for me as this imperfect Lydia now who breaks it?
That's the thing. It's like, do you feel like your value is beyond just that? Like, are you allowed to be
committed?
Flawed?
Are you? Yeah. Well, she breaks commitments with me all the time, so I gotta tell you.
Grace.
I gotta tell you.
I'm giving grace to myself, okay? And someone said this.
There's the time she did like 3 times in a week. I was like, okay.
No, but I was going through a lot. You see, and that was the week that now I needed this therapy. You see?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah. And there was someone who said, the more things you go through and the more grace and kindness you hand to yourself, the easier it is to give grace and kindness to other people.
100%.
Yeah. Sometimes I even feel like I feel like I don't know if it's we or it's just me, more likely to give grace and kindness to other people than we are to give it to ourselves. And
I don't think so.
Really?
I feel like it seems that way. Actually, generally, I would say that's true.
Yeah.
However, I feel like that's on the face of it, right? But the second it's like, you're out. Can you just get your shit in order? It's like more of like, you're more likely to offer politeness.
Right.
But the genuine kindness of like, you actually believe this is okay. Deep down inside, you want to be like, okay, we all have our period. Get over it. You know what I mean? Especially when it affects
That's
you.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, politeness I can definitely offer people.
Politeness is easy, but that kindness that's as in is coming from your soul is not always easy.
Exactly.
And it is harder when it's you, for sure.
Life lately is teaching me that sometimes what you really desire might not be what you need, and it's okay to restructure. What you desire might not be what you really need. Yeah, I agree with that. I would say, like, I wish I could get that thing that I desire first so that I can see actually it's not what I need, so that now when I get the thing that I need, it's just be like, yeah, okay, fine. Even what I desired was not necessarily what I wanted.
Okay, so I've found a way to be able to get kind of past that. Is like, if I've gotten this said thing that I desire in micro dosage, I try and observe what change did it make. And I'll give an example. So I have seen the trajectory of like the standard of our living when we were kids kind of change over time and for the better, right? So I've seen big jumps of like money wise and I've been able to see that what always mattered was that mom was nice to me, that mom was okay, that Aggie was okay. So even though I don't have the 100 million, it gives me an idea of the kind of change that will happen internally based on the changes that happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, still pursue your 100 million. Ooh, don't let me stop you. But being more aware of what is actually going to happen. So for example, now you've lost this weight, now the weight you've lost, you can somehow give an idea of how you feel when you lose the other 10 kg.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I feel like you need to taste a bit of what you
need
desire.
To taste a bit.
Yeah,
you definitely need to taste a bit.
Actually, I don't need it.
Yeah, telling somebody who's like kind of struggling to even make ends meet at the riches of this world, and what? Shut it. Yeah. Let them get to comfortable and not having to worry about money. Then they can kind of understand a bit.
I agree. Yeah. I 100% agree.
This is someone saying, I'm with Lydia. I am no longer interested in dating. Like kabisa. Guys approach, I play along, but not interested kabisa.
And that's fine. But in 2 years, in 3 years, don't come, I'm not telling you, don't then come and be like, guys, you know, I've been single so long, I'm just so lonely or whatever. It's because where you are on the way to where you are going. I just want that to be said.
I don't think that's fair.
I think it is.
I don't think that's fair. Let me tell you.
This is the reality. Is like, you can't say, I want to date, but when now the dating is being presented, you're not doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me tell you why.
And that's for her, not for you.
Whatever. Let me tell you why I think it's not fair. Right? You can be feeling one way about something right now because of whatever is happening with you right this second, right? So for example, let's even use something like you have a goal to have a house in however long, right? And you've gone through grief, like maybe I have.
Yeah.
And right now, the energy to work the way that you wanted to work, to put in as much, even just like how much you valued that thing has diminished a bit and for this season.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what might be happening. Also, I lied. So I've changed my mind again. And I'm now open again.
She's the one who you're tegemeing and saying that you like Lydia. Oh, Lydia is going to leave you in the dust.
Let me tell you what I realized. I'm removing the things I hate about dating and keeping the ones that I do. I love meeting people, by the way. I enjoy meeting people, even men. I just enjoy it. It's something I love. I don't like dating apps. So I'm removing what I don't like about the process and keeping what I do like, so that I can continue enjoying dating.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys something, a really interesting fact about our friendship? I have never actually seen Lydia flirt with anyone.
But we're not even enough places.
Yeah, but even the places that we are, I've never seen you flirt with anyone. In fact, what I have seen is like always constantly a look of annoyance towards men. That's what I've seen, Lydia.
But are they men I like? Exactly. If I don't like them, like,
all I'm saying is that I've never seen it, but I look forward to like us hanging out and me seeing you like, oh, you know, like a man, and they're like,
you haven't seen me. You haven't been places where I have flirted.
Really?
Yeah, I'm flirting these days, guys. Trust me.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm also running.
Yeah.
So
also, my response to this lady is not necessarily at like in a season, in any particular season you're going through something, of course. Yeah. But I feel like dating is one of those things where, kind of like going to the gym. Like if you decide, if you stay away too long, you'll just be like, now you just like, do you know what I mean?
Truth.
So they will reach a point where you won't necessarily feel like, okay, now I'm like, yes, I'm so excited about this, I want to do it. But kind of like you just have to get back out there and try.
I agree.
Yeah.
And there's some bit of like staying single that's avoiding, Because when you're single, you're here, you're safe, nobody is triggering you, you feel like you're doing all good. But when you step back into dating, you're vulnerable. You are subject to maybe being rejected. You are triggered. You have all of these things that end up happening. You know, you're constantly getting feedback in dating, whether it's like, okay, how somebody thinks you look or what they're saying about you as far as your personality. It's a lot of constant feedback and it is uncomfortable. So for me, what I would say is if you do actually want to be in a relationship and you want to have a family in the future, it's good to know what the habits you have right now in your dating, are they avoiding out of a protective, or are you just taking a break? Because you deserve a break. You do. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. So just have a chat, have a chit chat, babe, and report back in the comments.
You know, sometimes when Zach travels, like right now Zach has traveled, I'm just like, I can see how nice it is to just like be by yourself in your own space. Like I'm just like here in my bedroom and I'm by myself and I've put my pillow in the middle of the bed and like the temperature is exactly where I need it to be. Like there's no like anyone waking me up when they turn because I'm a really light sleeper. Like there's just so many tiny things that I'm just like, I can see how this can be an addictive way to live. Honestly, I can see how it can be an addictive way to live. Yeah. So even when he comes back, it's always like, obviously it's nice to have the companionship and the warmth and all that. But also there's some comforts that you have to let go of when you date and when you marry. And, you know, it's just...
My mom has a hybrid. So my stepdad...
Your mom lives the perfect...
100%. My stepdad, Tim, lives away. Like he works somewhere else and he has a home there. And it's like 3 nights also 3 or 4 nights, and then the other times he's home. So my mom gets to have like these 4 days, and then 3 days
like
they're
single
together.
Married.
It's single married, and do you know what, that hybrid is peak, and especially if your partner isn't going somewhere far, because my mom can always pick up. It's like an hour.
Yeah,
to
so
go.
She can go if
she can go anytime, and
to,
if she misses him, he's right there.
Yeah. It's perfect.
That's it. That's the sweetness.
And then also it gives you an opportunity to kind of miss them. Yes. And when you connect, it's so meaningful.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, wow. Lord, if you're giving out
hybrid,
whatever, that would be the perfect.
Yeah, but they don't have kids. I don't know if that would be as, or if you have kids.
They have you and Ag. What do you mean they don't have kids?
As in we are adults. Like, whereas now it's like Mukeni not seeing her dad for 4 days. That's not as fun.
Yeah, she'll get over it.
Oh, do you know what?
Okay, Deborah says, life is teaching me that things tend to work out eventually. Take a breath, stop worrying, and trust the process. In this case, trusting God is the process.
Oh, Lord. He is keeping us together.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if this is a negative take on what has been said about things tending to work out eventually. I would say life is not like a movie where like things end up, it's just like all things work themselves out and everything is perfect at the end. I would say though that things will work out, but sometimes the worked out isn't the way that you would think, you would have thought at the beginning is the worked out. So let's say you're in a bad marriage or you and your partner are struggling. When you're thinking, okay, things will work out, the things will work out might not be you go to therapy and then you guys fix everything and whatever. The things worked out could be you get divorced and you start a new life somewhere else and, you know, everybody goes their separate ways. That could be the things have worked out. So I feel like sometimes when we think at like, oh, things will work themselves out, sometimes it's like we have an idea of what we imagine that worked out is, and sometimes it's not that. Sometimes the worked out is your friendship ends, or sometimes the worked out is I don't know, you get fired and you end up starting a business, and that's not the way. Maybe you thought it would be like, oh, I'll get a new boss and life will be perfect. No, sometimes it's not that.
That is a truth about life that I don't think people want to exactly always get. So for me, I would say that that's something which I've come to realize. So the life I would have dreamt for myself would have been, I've just been silly all my 20s, just living my best life. Then around 32, I meet someone who I feel like we align, and somebody who I can start a life with, have a family with, right? However, based on, so now that would been working out. But now, based on some of the experiences that I've had, working out has been being single. That has been the working out. And there's this idea that if you do have a dream in your head, the life that you're living right now is kind of like, it's adjacent to your dream. No. A lot of times, and actually in reality, this is the best that your life has worked out. Because there's no other life over there on the side, like continuing on. This is it. And I think I'm starting to see the value of some of my choices, because maybe had I not, and I had been really focused on just like stay in there, make sure that you are married and you have this person at this age, I would be in a relationship that I hate, that is not aligned with me, and the picture would have been the way that I thought of it, but all the other things, like the feeling and how I feel about it, wouldn't have been right. So now I'm starting to see that I had the picture, but the road didn't get me there, but it got me somewhere that I value, which is like no man taking me for idiot.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Yeah,
and that's something I value about my life choices.
And this is the thing. I feel like now with life, for you to not end up a bitter asshole, you kind of just need to make peace with where now you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you continue always living in the I wish it should have, this is what I wanted or whatever, if you keep living there, you will never appreciate the niceness of where you are at that particular time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll just be like forever like, oh, what if? Well, guess what? It didn't. The if isn't.
It didn't happen.
The if isn't. Yeah, there's a Bible. Sorry.
No.
Thank you. Yeah, before guys, we're friends. We're still friends, and it's okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's a Bible verse that says that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. And sometimes people take it out of context and be like, yeah, so I know it's just all going to work out, but like it says it'll work together for good, but it could be your good, it could be the good of your enemy. It could be the good of society in general. Like maybe you just like, we're always saying sometimes life is hard and then you die. Someone just be like, how is that thing's working out for good? But like, because we don't know God's plan and what we don't know all the other things that thing has impacted, it is for the good. Yeah. It's just not necessarily for the good that you see and we have our mortal understanding of. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people also miss, for those who love the Lord, show us how you love the Lord.
That part.
Yeah, especially I think that is part. Said. And sometimes I'm just like, what are you going? And I'm not saying you don't love the Lord, but it's like, I use the full sentence. People actually always end it. They don't feel the for those, because now that's going to make you question that other part of you.
Yeah, exactly.
What have we learned today? Do you know what? Life is just non-stop.
I'm thinking about some of the comments I've made today, and I've realized that I don't know if it's that as I'm getting older, I don't know if I'm getting more pessimistic, not really pessimistic, but like more realist. Is that the word?
You are really attached to reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I heard somebody say that our relationship with money is our relationship with reality. Yeah. So I know you have a strong sense of, you always saying the reality is the reality. Yeah. The truth is you create your reality, but I always get what you mean.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're very much a realist.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I don't know if that serves me.
I don't think so. I think it does serve you. How does it know?
I don't know. I'm just saying I need to query. Like, does it serve me to always be thinking that way? Yeah.
Yeah. I think some elements you just need optimism and you just need delusion. But for the most part, I think you navigate through the world easier when you're a realist.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you have those elements of like a dreamer, which you are, it's like, it's perfect.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you for affirming
that. A dreamer and a doer.
I appreciate that.
That's what Aggie says.
That's it.
Yeah.
Can we be a rester also?
Boom.
Rester.
Oh yeah, we're adding that.
We're adding
dot resting coming soon. Yeah. So anyway, whatever you're learning in life, just know that. Do you know sometimes what you're learning in life is not even necessarily the truth of what you're learning, is the wind beneath your wings.
Yeah.
So whatever you gotta clutch on, whatever you gotta hold on to in this ride, just hold on.
So funny to me.
Hold on, baby. Just hold on.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for sharing this with us. I like the reminder that it's not just us going through things. There's also you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are going through so much and whatever. And it's so nice to be able to hear. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going through anything. I think I'm in life.
That's it. That's what we said. This is not a season. The season is life. The season is adulthood.
Yeah. Season 1 of life, and you only get one.
You know?
So this is it.
This is it, guys. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. For those of you who are coming, we cannot wait.
Be drenched out in our pink
shades. Are we wearing pink? You and I?
I hope we know by now.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to find like a color which contrasts nicely with pink so we can stand out kind of.
I know how I want to look, but no direction at this moment. Yeah.
Maybe denim. No. Every time I say denim, it just sounds so now millennial.
Now it's like I'm PTSD'd after our last event. That was the most amount of denim I ever want to see in my life. And Ankara,
No, I never. I can't be in the
It's
same
too much.
space as Ankara.
No,
yeah.
it's
my
done.
God. Those
It's
pictures
done.
are so overstimulating every time I see them. But you know what? They were beautiful.
They were beautiful.
And it was amazing. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys in your shades of pink on Saturday. Can't wait to take pictures with you guys. I don't want to see nobody in the comments. Guy, oh my God, I can't believe I missed it. You guys tell us when the next one is. There are some of you who that's your favorite comment. You just wait for us to have an event, right? They wait for us to have an event so that now they can comment that. Nah.
Yeah. As soon as it says sold out, guy, I was just right here.
Were you open first? No.
Were you
weren't,
Tracy?
And you know
it's
it.
Okay. It's okay. But yeah, we can't wait to see you guys. Thank you so much for watching yet another episode. Thank you so much for being our mirror. Thank you so much for being our partners as we grow. Yeah. We appreciate you guys so much. Healthy boundaries are needed, but we appreciate you so much.
We do. We love you guys, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Bye.